Well, we had a 4 o'clock departure. Well, they told me to be here at 4 o'clock this afternoon to be on the boat by 5:15. I showed up at 4 o'clock and they said there was a delay. They had a generator malfunction or something. They had to repair a generator so that it would be delayed until 11:15. So I'm here, it's like 10 o'clock now, and it's just now pulling in. And this is the boat. This is the first ferry I've ever been on, so kind of exciting. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, very good.
Are you able to turn off those lights by any chance?
Sure.
Are you alone in there? There's no one else sleeping in the back?
No, I'm by myself.
Okay, I need to have a look at your ID.
Oh, sure.
Are you going to Skagway tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Which lane?
Just keep hard over, go down the middle lane.
Middle lane. Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Nothing?
Oh, yeah.
Morning, America. We're in Skagway. We made it safely. We came across the what do you call it? The sound, the fjord, the whatever they call these inlets. There you go, inlet. Came across the inlet last night. We docked over here. I went and drove through town trying to find a place to park. And I thought, oh, down here by the marina, it ought to be pretty quiet. I wake up and I think that's the ship from Haynes, and then there's a Disney cruise over here. So there's been a lot of people walking by this morning. So I guess let's go explore, see what there's in town. Well, we've been walking around Skagway's main drive here, Broadway. I'm at the corner of Broadway and 3rd. If you wanted to look it up on the map, there's Broadway and 3rd right here. This is Broadway and this is 3rd Street. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on up. And what do I think so far? It's not for me. It's too commercialized. It's too Disneyland. It's just everybody get off the boat, come in and spend all your money and get back on the boat and leave. I don't know. I'm not too overly impressed with it. I like the history of it, but you know the cruise ships have turned it into Disneyland, and I'm not. It's not my kind of town. It would be if there wasn't so many. I like the history part of it, but see, noisy bus, shuttle buses every darn where. I just went through and showed you all the pictures of all the jewelry stores. I'm on the corner, like I said, Broadway and 3rd, and down there is Broadway and 2nd, and in one block, all of those jewelry stores were in that one block, except this one here. That was another one, and it just, I cannot believe how much jewelry. And I'm like, don't want people buy something besides jewelry just for souvenirs? I knew there'd be souvenir shops, but I just couldn't believe how much jewelry there is. And anyway, this is Broadway, and I don't know. Let's walk one block over and see if it changes any. Okay, we're one block over. We're on State Street now, State and 3rd, and it's still a fairly busy area. There's a bus right behind me right here. I've been noticing the buses come up here and turn and go that way. I'm not sure why. They're heading somewhere up to show a glacier or take a tour of a mine or something. There's always some place that they're taking people to. But when I came in last night, I noticed it was late night. We got delayed on the ferry and they can get here till 1 in the morning. And we get off and it's all pitch black. I can't see anything. And I stumble around looking for a place to park. So I drove around a little bit, kind of get a feel of the town. And I drove about 2 streets over. There's just buses, big Greyhound type buses, and the little city scamper buses. You know, and then they're all over the place. There was many businesses, and that's where they park their buses and everything. And on the other side over here by the mountain, they park it over there. It's all, hey, an actual truck driver. No freight though. He's from Washington. Now that's a unique truck there. Here's what you normally see as far as trucking up here in Alaska. It's these kind of trucks here, just your regular old work trucks. So that's very normal up here, those kind of trucks. You don't see my type of truck, you don't see up here. So, but we're one block off of Main, and the town totally looks different over here. There's a little traffic. I think this is the main highway right here, and it is a little bit noisier, you know, a lot of traffic. But I'm kind of rambling. I think I'm going to go one more block over. It's not so much stuff over there. Okay, we're another street over. This is Main Street. There it is. We're still on 3rd going east and west, but we're two streets away from Main Street. There's Broadway, then State, and now we're on Main. And here goes some tour buses. They got these old antique looking, they're not antiques. They can't be. They've got to be recreations. They're in awful good shape. There's so many of them, they look identical, you know. So anyway, but the town is more like a regular town now. Just 2 blocks away from that hustle and bustle of the nonsense over there. It's just like a regular town here. And I'm much more liking this. So something I'm learning on this trip, I don't mind the touristy areas as long as it's not too touristy. But when it turns into Disneyland like Broadway Street is, they can have it. I don't want it. You know, and I was thinking about taking the tour, the ferry ride down to St. Rupert, and I did the math. It's going to save me about $250 worth of fuel, but it's going to cost $1,300. So for $1,000, $1,100, something like that, just to ride the ferry and hit towns like this, I think Sitka would be pretty neat. When I heard it, everybody likes it. But all of these towns, Ketchikan and all these other towns, are just tourist traps, and so I'm not too interested in doing that. Here's another tour bus. I got a camera looking at them, and they got a camera looking at me. But I think I'm just going to drive back home. I really liked coming up the Cassiar and that kind of traveling. This waiting around for 4 hours to get on a boat, for 5 hours sitting around twiddling my thumbs, and it was at night. I couldn't see anything. Now the other ones might be during the day. I think if I want to do that, I think I'll just go get a cruise, go get on an Alaska cruise line or something like that someday. But as far as the ferry ride, I'm gonna nix it. I'm just gonna drive home. So I'm gonna go get in the van. I'm gonna get out of town, go out in the outskirts and see what I can find. Maybe there's something redeeming about this town after all. But that Broadway, they can keep it. I don't want it. Pretty, ain't it? This is Reed's Falls. Reed's Falls is right north of Skagway, just up the hill from the Gold Rush Cemetery. I was walking through the cemetery and reading some of the plaques and everything, and there's a guy named Soapy Smith. Soapy Smith was a notorious outlaw in the, he was kind of like the Al Capone of the Skagway, the Gold Rush days. And he had he was a swindler. He'd swindle money out of people, and people get off the boat, heading up to the gold fields, and he'd figure out a way to get all their money they had to buy their equipment. He'd gamble it away with crooked gambling den or something, or talk them out of it. Hey, I know of a mine right over here you can buy. You don't have to go all the way up, and people would buy it, and sucker born every day kind of thing, Well, anyway, Reed was the surveyor. He's the one that laid out the roads in Skagway, the grid system for the streets. And I don't know the whole story how it went down, but there was a meeting of something, and they were talking about Soapy Smith, how to get rid of him, basically. And so he heard about it, and he come busting through the doors, going, hey, I'm going to stop you guys from collaborating against me or whatever. Reed shot him. Well, in the gunfight, Reed shot him and killed him, but before he died, Soapy got a shot into Reed. So Soapy died immediately, I guess, and then Reed, he died like 12 days later, something like that. And they buried him in the same cemetery. And Soapy Smith got a simple little plaque, nothing super special. And Reed's got this big monument. So he's considered the hero of Skagway, I guess. So they've named this waterfall after him, because this waterfall goes right down there close to the cemetery. So this is the kind of stuff I like about Skagway. That downtown district, they can keep it, but the history of it, the beautiful scenery like this is what I like. So I think I've had enough of Skagway. I'm getting ready to leave and head north, go up the Klondike Trail, and go up into Canada and start working my way back home. So this is kind of the apex of, or the final video from Alaska. And next time you hear from me, I will be in Canada somewhere doing something. So take care. Bye.